Ratas de mi corazón. Estoy muy feliz porque no todos los días uno puede entrevistar
Ay, ay, ay.
a dos monstruos. Bueno, en esta ocasión tenemos a uno y nos llena de mucha emoción recibir aquí en Radio Bizarro y en la X102 a Paul de Polo y Pan. Hey, Paul, how you
Hola,
doing?
Radio Bizarro, ¿cómo estás?
Yeah!
There you go.
Do you manage Spanish then?
Just super basic, like really basic. But I learned it on an app, and I've been studying for 2 weeks. So don't go too far with the Spanish.
So I mean, you just download the app and you're learning for the fest? Or
Yeah, well, I was in Mexico. We had some time off, and I kind of picked it up. It's a useful language, you know. Like everywhere we go, there's always Spanish around us. So we also have music in Spanish. So I thought it would be useful to learn it, and I'm starting.
well, let me give you an advice for the VR. Whenever you get to the stage, say, "Que lo que, Santo Domingo?" Que lo que. It's like hi, but in a Dominican.
It's like, what's up?
It's
Que
like
lo
what's
que,
up.
que lo que.
Que lo
Yeah.
que, there you go.
Que lo que, Santo Domingo. Okay, I got it.
People are gonna go
Man,
crazy.
you would nail it if you say
Yes.
that on stage. So how you doing? What were you doing before this interview?
I am doing great. I'm at the studio right now. I'm like with Nico, like our assistant here who helps us a lot. We're configuring the studio, we're changing some hardware, we're testing some things, and yeah, we're having kind of like a technical day at the studio.
Is
Fixing, arranging, stuff like that.
it like playground for you?
Yeah, I really love the studio, and I really love that I found this guy, Nico. He's been working with us for about a year plus, and it's really nice to have a young, super motivated, very technical minded person that's working with us. He's super, like, he's making our work even more pleasurable.
Are you talking about our Nico, who is right next to us?
Literally.
It's exactly what you
Oh yeah,
said.
everybody needs a Nico in their life.
There you
Agree.
go. There you go.
Agree. Oh my god. So Polo and Panis they're coming to DR. That's incredible.
It
You don't
is.
even understand. Everyone was taunting with their favorite artist. And it wasn't like a couple of times that we saw Polo y Pan. Like, it was insane. And when the lineup came out, people were, I mean, I'm not going to say because it's kind of, they were shitting their pants, you know? They're like, everyone, they weren't believing
Say
how,
it, just say it.
yeah, you know, they were shitting their pants because it's incredible that this amazing duo is coming to the DR. How do you feel about the Caribbean?
Well, we're super excited. Like for us, also, it's kind of a new beginning, and the Caribbean obviously is a place that everybody dreams about. It's like the perfect postcard. So we have a lot to discover, and we're super excited also. And we really make, like, a lot of why we make our music is to get the chance to travel and discover these beautiful places. So we're very excited. I'm very excited.
Paul, why is a new beginning for you guys?
New destination is always it's just destination, new country. Feels always like a new beginning. We're going to make some new friends. We're going to discover new places. So yeah, it's part of the enjoyment of our job is that we get to discover slowly but surely some new places and make some new connections around the world. But this is very exciting one for us.
Oh, we're so excited too. I'm interested though, because there's a lot of like sampling, and I know that Polo and Pan like to have a lot of references of sounds. Are you coming here with like your cell phone to record any sort of sounds and look also for inspiration? Does it help to travel?
We definitely travel with equipment, and we record, we work on current songs, or we interact with people we meet. So we never know exactly if it really depends on the mood, on like who you meet and so on. But of course we're ready to go. Like whenever something happens, we have the iPhones, but we also have microphones, sound cards and stuff. And if yeah, let's see how it plays out. And if you want to recommend people, we'd love to discover local musicians, live music, like just traditional music from different regions, and that's a great source of inspiration for us.
I think that Gabby's question was going around like taking sounds from the streets and all of that. Do you actually do that? Do you sample sounds from the streets where you go?
Yes, used to do it a lot. I had a project called Life Cuts where I just like recorded a lot of people and stuff and mixed it. I was living in a factory 10 years ago with artists, and there was a big 24-hour music kind of like music loop going on in there. and I used all these recordings to do that. I do it, let's say I've done a lot of it, and yes, when something happens that's crazy, like sometimes I still record that, but I really like to go straight for the music more than the random.
Sounds.
Yeah, it depends. Like in the jungle, like okay, you got like amazing natural musicality, so you're gonna want to, or like the ocean can be beautiful, stuff like that. But it's less of a like systematic thing. So let's see, is there something exceptional in the nature, like birds and like things we should be recording in Santo Domingo?
There's a lot of noise pollution.
Yes.
Being completely
That,
honest. So you'll see like trucks selling fruits or vegetables screaming like plátano, yuca verde,
We call
or
it pregoneros.
that's
yeah.
cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's cool for a little intro, that kind of vibe. But yeah, I feel like people need more noise pollution in their life right now. This is this. Thank you.
No, no, I'm so sick of it. What I'm really curious is how you guys, both of you, because regardless of the background, you created this amazing project. How is the synergy when working? Who starts what, and how do you manage it?
That's a tricky question. There's no
Ooh.
real answer to that because just it's so many different songs with so many different styles of making them, and it's really the rule with Alex. Nobody has a specific role. It's whoever has the best idea. And if at some point you're better at like mixing or writing vocal harmonies, it doesn't mean on the next song you can't be challenged. And like we're always listening to each other and also to other people. We try to bring other inputs in the studio. So it's to keep it alive. And voilà. So it's really the rule of the best idea. And we don't have any defined kind of way of working. This is this is a rule, like no rule.
Sometimes in the music industry, there is a lot of individualism, you know? And having you guys as a duo, it's impressive because you can merge sounds in a perfect way as you do. I really would like to know about it. What was the main thing that made you guys come together and do music?
Yeah, as you said, like it can be tempting. There's something easy about being an individual and also you serving your ego like in a more direct way. So it's a little more work to be able to make a duo work, but I think the first thing is that we realized that the music we made was much better when we did it together. And we had two quite different approaches. We loved a lot of music in common, but we have different kind of sensitivity to music. So what we do together is maybe superior to what we would do alone. So I guess we met each other when we had a certain level of maturity. We were like just around our 30s, and we were ready to yeah, just like we understood that this was a great path for us to take. And yeah, I'm glad I didn't meet Alex when I was 20. Maybe I would have made different decisions, or we would have clashed. We would have been so patient, and we've really built something great. And we keep on like expanding, going new places. And yeah, it's an exciting adventure, and it's as a couple, it's work, but it's so gratifying what you can build two people compared to what you do alone. You share it with someone when you travel. You just like what we live all these moments together. It's not so it's a beautiful thing.
Obviously,
Wow.
it's something our Nico said is two brains work better than one. And
Yeah.
I feel like that feels, it is kind of like the motto of Polo y Pan. I
Really fun.
also, yeah, I feel like there's also in a lot of interviews, this has been heavily mentioned. Performance. I think it's one of the most mentioned words in all of your interviews. Are you guys like so crazy in love with performing live with people?
Well, yeah, we love from DJing to our live show that we've worked on so hard, so much to try to from being guys who are more like studio people and DJs to becoming live performers, singing and talking to a crowd. That was a kind of a learning curve for us and not necessarily the most natural thing. I would say, especially for me, Alex is more of a natural entertainer, and I was a little more like kind of a introvert naturally. But I really learned to take a lot of pleasure in just doing this performance and making it better and better. And yeah, it's exciting. Like we've been off the road for 3 months, 4 months, something like that. So this we're gonna be resuming our live shows pretty soon, and it's always a bit not scary, a little track, a little excitement, but I'm looking forward to it. Also, like going, being in the Caribbean and then South America, where we've never been. So this is really exciting for us, and it's been long due. We should have been there like years ago.
Yes.
We've been Voilà.
Yeah, so I wanted to ask, do you have any advice for anyone that's really introverted in any sort of performance, like live performance? What helped you to actually feel more comfortable and in your skin when you are in this duo, Polo and Pan?
I mean, it's if you put the time, if you do it a lot as an introvert, it's actually it's great to be in. Well, I would say you stay connected to yourself, so you're very genuine in your performance. It's just hard in the beginning to break out of the shell, but there's advantages and disadvantages to both. When you're very extrovert, it's easy to go on stage, but maybe sometimes you just press on the buttons to make the crowd happy and you're just connected to the outside and you can forget yourself and kind of get attracted by what people expect from you. Whereas when you're an introvert, you have other advantages on that level, but it is a lot of work. You got to practice, just put the time. You got to suck in the beginning a couple of times. You got to mess up, it's going to be awkward, it's going to be cringy, but then it gets better.
Do you have a routine to get ready for festivals or concerts?
We have a few routines backstage with Victoria and Alex, and we take like definitely the last 15 minutes. Everybody leaves the backstage, and it's just us, and we have a hug and a dance and like a few words, and we have our little shot of rum sometimes. So we
Woo!
have like a shot of tequila or something like that, and yeah, no, no, it's yeah, we need that space. We need to make that bubble before we go on stage, and it's great to be with friends or family and stuff like that. But at some point, we gotta just be together and ready for the
To
stage.
connect. Something I'm interested on is the structure of the performance. I know that's something that people need to see in person, that people need to pay for the Isle of Light and actually enjoy it. But I would like to have a teaser about it. What are you planning? What do you guys, how do you guys structure a show?
Well, like our albums or our songs, like we always have a big kind of connection to movies. Like we try to write it like a story with an opening, some dramatic moments, and like there's a happy end. There's tension and release. So yeah, there's definitely like it opens with like some more pop and slower, like our DJ sets are mixtapes, and it builds up and it can get very epic. And there's some big club tracks in the bulk of it. And yeah, we try to finish with a. It's always like a stand-up show. You got to open and close with a really strong pieces also. So, or like a good movie or a good book. You really got to hook people. So we think about our live show as a story or as a movie. It's about an hour and a half. That's the maximum attention span of a person nowadays. So we really got to do our best to
We,
entertain in that hour and a half.
we were watching your performance, and I think epic is a big word
Yeah, the
and a word that
visuals.
describes it.
Oh, insane, the visuals. How do you work with the visuals? Did you actually plan it according to the music, or do you have like a team that helps?
Yeah, we always worked with the same visual artists, Noemi and Benjamin, who've been friends since the beginning and since before we created Polo and Pan. We were all DJs together in the same club, Le Baron, 15 years ago. So they're old friends of ours, and they're very talented. They just got, we kind of grew together, and they're really the visual part of Polo and Pan. We give them some ideas. We're allowed sometimes to give them some ideas, but they're
Allowed.
also super, they're super creative. And we kind of like the best way to work is to let them do their thing and they just imagine things. And so it's pleasure, it's also nice for them. They get their real creative inputs and they can take control of the music, just listen to it and interpret it. So they really sometimes we input a few ideas, but we let them do their thing, and they created this visual part of the live show. It's really on them. We made sure it was all synchronized with the music on some specific songs and stuff like that. But um, yeah, it's really them. So Noemi and Benjamin, we love you, and thank you so much for being with us such
Oh,
a
that's
such
so
a long time.
cute.
Isn't that the crazy thing about music, that it doesn't matter who is listening to it, that person will have its same
Interpretation. Their own
interpretation,
interpretation
their
of
own
the.
interpretation of the song. I think that's crazy about music, how creative people can have their own interpretation about the song.
Yeah, for sure. Usually when you play in front of a crowd, everybody's gonna like kind of the feeling comes together. If you're listening alone, the same person, like different people will hear different things, but when you're in front of the audience, then like the energy comes together and people start feeling. That's what's exciting about being the crowd, that you get the impact of feelings at the same time. And Yeah, it's fun for sure. It's great for us because we write our songs that are supposed to be like nice songs to listen to, a song like Canopé, and then having it on a live show and seeing people get excited. They actually dance, they jam to this song. And so yeah, it's for us also it was fun to rediscover our songs in the live show and how they can be different from what we imagined with them.
And talking about reward and how people perceive it, what's the craziest thing you've ever seen in a concert? Because read in an interview that you have your phone close to you so you can record stuff that's happening. What's the craziest thing you can share with us?
What are the craziest things? I'm trying to think. Like we've had so many beautiful shows. I just remember right now what I'm just remembering. Mexico City was like our first big headliner in CDMX, and it was so the level of yelling was like insane for us. It was like we were it just felt kind of really weird. We're like, what is happening? What is happening
Overwhelmed.
there? And we saw the whole crowd sit down spontaneously at some points, and like just like they were insane. Like a lot of things were happening. I'm sorry, I can't think of something amazing right now. I'll get back to this question if something pops up. But
Of
I'm
course.
missing my Alex. Alex would find this.
I'm missing my Alex. You know,
He's the memory of the band. He's the memory.
the vibes I'm getting through this interview and we got through your music are so beautiful, and I'm so excited to see you live.
Yeah.
I think people
Well,
are
thank you
gonna
guys.
love it.
Yeah, since Clyde.
We're
Yeah.
I was just saying we're super excited. Thank you so much for making us connect with the audience before we show up, and we're pumped up for this show.
Yes, we've been playing Feel Good. That was the first song we played from your latest 2021 album. We've been playing you guys since the beginning of Radio Bizarro. Polo Pan is part of the history of this, and we're even extending that with this festival, the 11th of March, right before leaving this amazing interview. 3 things the listeners, right? They need to know or they need to have to enjoy Polo and Pan like to the 1,000% like the best way possible. What are 3 things that you recommend the listeners to have or to be or to feel when they are standing right there watching Polo and Pan?
Uh, I recommend them to be accompanied by people they love to share the moment. I recommend them what could they to wear
I
their
don't know, like,
dancing shoes, like their best pair of dancing shoes, of course, because there's gonna be a lot of movements.
and no
And
white
also maybe
shoes.
they
Yeah, not
no white
white shoes.
shoes. And just have some tissues in case it gets very emotional and like everybody has to cry. You have a little tissue. Like what? We're gonna go from the most epic dancing to the real emotions together.
That's so
Yes, I'm
great.
so excited.
Paul, just a final question. Are you guys working on maybe a new album or a single?
Yes, yeah, we're working on the new album. We have many singles that are well advanced. So I hope we're gonna release like a single or EP this spring. Can't announce like I don't. It's really up in the air, but we're thinking of doing it. And of course, we like to release something before every summer. So expect in May a single or an EP to announce an upcoming album, maybe next, like in 12 months or something like that. But we're working hard on a new album.
Are you guys gonna perform some of those new songs at the show?
Ooh.
Like in our show?
And
The Night of
I'm
Light.
sorry, I'm gonna pop your balloon right now. No, we are not. No,
Honesty is appreciated. Honesty is appreciated. It's fine. It's
there will be
fine.
no. There's gonna be zero exclusive material. No, sometimes we play like we'll DJ. We'll just play with the turntable a new song that we made in the studio. Like we show up at concert. Oh, we did something that day, so we'll play it for the audience. And it depends. As I said, we're just reconnecting with live shows, so we'll see the vibe, and maybe we'll play one new song that we can just listen together and like jam to.
Well,
Okay.
look, we cannot wait until that night. I know we're all gonna love it. Thank you so much, Paul, for this energy, for being so kind. For
Yeah.
being so nice. That's the perfect description
Easy.
of this interview.
Yeah, this will.
The only
this
way
will
to be.
close.
Yeah.
There you go.
Guys, thank you so much. It was a pleasure to talk with you. Thank you.
Thank
Ustedes
you.
continúen con mucho más de Radio Bizarro Music for the rest of us. Esta es la X, la 102.1 FM. Paul, thank you so much.
Thank you so much,
man.
Paul.
You've
You're
been
so
amazing.
kind.
Hasta pronto,
Thank you.
amigos.
Hasta luego.
Hasta pronto.
Nos vemos en
Bye.
marzo.
Hasta luego.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye.
Stay safe.